Hello YouTube. You probably didn't hear the click just now, but it was there and it started my recording, and that is what you're benefiting from right now. Look at that. How's that for the first few seconds of an opening of a YouTube video? It's pretty good, right? I know it's not that good, but it's better than my usual. Let's get into the Dwarf Fortress. Oh my goodness. The chat's gone alive. Gone alive? Jumped to life. Something like that. Okay, it seems like the live people are showing love to the YouTubers. I reckon they're just sending themselves messages. They're going to go and watch the video later and go, "That's me! That's me! Mum, look at YouTube now, I'm on YouTube!" Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, I'm getting a look that's telling me that wasn't funny. I can't hear you guys, but I can see Kel's face. And that tells me if a joke was funny or not. And the response I got from that one was no. That was a raised eyebrow. Ah well. Let's have a look. What have we got going? I've phased out for a moment there. Excuse me. Let's have a little look. Oh, I'm glad Chunky Nut used his intro there. I was quite pleased with that one when I wrote it. The small things in life. Okay, where were we? Now I've started with such a blisteringly hot intro. Everything falls apart because I just start staring at the screen going, I haven't played for a week, I don't know what's going on. Now let's reacquaint ourselves. Of course we've got the vampire barracks, always the best place to look for a start. Julian's sitting in there training away, I presume, or sinking his fangs into one of the many idiots who have selected these bedrooms back here. Single room bedrooms, or single square bedrooms rather. They might need a bit of extra digging out just so the vampire can get in there to do his exsanguinations. Ah, forget it, whatever. We'll leave it for now. That can wait, right? Vampire military, that doesn't need controlling or anything. They're way less dangerous than nuclear bombs. They need controlling. Someone needs to be on top of where they are at all times. Vampires, pff, they're like cats. They do what they want. Okay, so we've got the military down here. We've got some serious barrackage going on in a kind of Star Trek ship redolent shape, now that I think about it. I may have had that in mind at the time, but it's just reoccurred to me if that was the case. And then this barrack here, which was supposed to look a bit like a dwarf, but is shameful compared to Blue Satin Live's efforts. He's got that glorious octopus place for his dining room, and I'm looking at that and thinking, that's really bad. And look at this hideously ugly monstrosity. My industrial area looks very much like an industrial area. Functional, basic, industrious. What's down the next level? Okay, here's the real party zone. This is where my dwarves really get down with it, and they're practically dancing on the tables. Look at them. I think some of them are dancing on the tables. Good for them. Okay, up here we've got the graveyard, which is pretty much full. Let's have a quick look. What's this guy doing? What are you doing there? He's an engraver. Ah, right. He's constructing a slab by the look of it. So, any of these empty? Okay, we've got some empty graves. That's a good sign. You know, it's always a bad sign when your graveyard fills up. Here we go. So this line is where we've got the... They seem to be filling them in a pretty orderly fashion. Resting place of Zon Rithabromrek. I have such a terrible time with these. Oh, Panzerbeard! Even being a vampire couldn't save him from death. Okay, so these last two lines are available, so we can afford a little bit of corpsification. We don't have to worry too much about building a stockpile of bodies. For some reason, the two Wren people who can fly have chosen to stay within the pit. That's an interesting choice on their part, I feel. I mean, you can escape. I mean, I only caught you by accident. I didn't fully intend to throw you into the pit. I just, in a moment of unthinking hubris, I decided to toss you in. But, oh well. Elite, I used to smooth and engrave the entire fortress. But then, apparently it's not so much of an issue at the moment in this version of Dwarf Fortress, but back when I was doing it, it would really quickly raise the value of your fort, like ridiculous amounts, and then suddenly start causing all sorts of mad invasions and problematic creatures to appear. So I started only doing engraving after a certain point. Here's a load of secondary stockpiles, which I de-designated to avoid lag. He says at 23 frames a second. At least I can see the dwarves moving. That's the main thing. And then we pop down here. This bit I am engraving and smoothing. This is going to be my new fortress. Everyone's going to move down here. Although I've started in a rather haphazard way. I remember this was going to be a throne room of some kind, and this was going to be a dining room. But beyond that, I'm not sure what these little rooms are going to be. Maybe some kind of industry, but it seems crazy to have the industry right next to the throne room. Yeah, well, I suppose they're dwarves. Kind of an industrial species. Anyway, enough of this cogitation. Let's get down to my mining layer and see what we've uncovered with this. We've got that gold ore all dug out, which is nice. Although I don't seem to have dropped a lot, considering how much there was. Maybe dwarves have taken some away. I'm not sure. I could mine out a vein of something else. What do we got here? This is orthoclase, diorite, cobaltite, pretty but useless. Which is a sad condition to be in. Let's go down a floor, see what we've got. Diorite. Oh, we've got a cavern. Okay, I'm not sure which cavern this is. Is this my top cavern or my bottom cavern? Ho ho, bottom cavern. Ha ha ha. Sorry. That was incredibly childish of me. Ah, this is where the... what's his name? I want to say ammonite, but I know it's not the right word. Adamantine is. All the adamantines down here. Ammonite. Ridiculous. Right, let's get deep. Where's my stairwell gone? Show me the stairway. Ah, there we go. Right, what have we got here? This floor, what's this? Mica? Microline. Slate. Might be something interesting down here with the slate. Let's say designate. Is it the right? Is Control V? Ah, what? It's not a vein. That's not cool. How about orthoclase? Does that come in veins? Yes, orthoclase comes in veins. Less of a vein, more of a blob. Do I really want to mine that out? We're fairly low down. I'll give my dwarf something to do. Let's let it fly. I'll allow it. That's the first cavern layer, which has had some creatures appearing in it, but it's not really caused a huge amount of grief. Oh, look, some kind of spider down here. What's this? A cave spider, of course, of course. And lots of cave spider silk webs, which I think some of my guys have been collecting. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure we'll find out. It'd be nice if you could train cave spiders, but I suspect they're outside the list of things that can be trained. Oh, we had a load of people arrive. Hello, Julien. Hello, Base on Mars. Hello, Mr. Mex. Mr. Mex has been here for a while. I just didn't mention that I saw him earlier. Sorry. Or her. I should stop using gender pronouns, shouldn't I? In this day and age. Ammonites is a flying monster, not a jewel. Interesting. Although an ammonite's a fossil. Try to capture that cave spider. Farming silk. Okay. They can be trained. Well, that is interesting. If I can start a silk farm, if I can master the bottoms of spiders, if I can enslave their spinnerets, I shall become a master of the Silk Road. But kind of the prerequisite right now is for one of them to stroll over here and come into my traps. My paltry little allocation of traps down here. Maybe if I place a few more traps around here. Maybe if I breach this wall, allowing them to come straight into my fortress, which they could do really anyway, because I'm pretty sure a spider can climb over a wall. In fact, the evidence is right there for me to see. He points with his finger when no one can see it. There's some spider webs right there, which mean a spider has definitely climbed on top of it. But why haven't they come over this side? Maybe because they keep getting butchered. Who knows? I need to get myself some water, excuse me. Ah, I see. Oh, I see, yeah. So best to just harvest the... Sorry to lean away from the mic. Best to just harvest the webs from the wild rather than create some kind of facility. It doesn't necessarily negate my dreams. I could have them, live down in the caves, like, free range, and then harvest their webs organically and ethically. But that's only because battery spider farming won't work. Not through some ethical choice. I mean, I used the word ethics, but I don't mean it. Now, I feel like I should do something about this area where I've got all the fruit trees gathering. What I may do is just chop down anything that I can't identify as having some kind of yield, just to clear some space. So a ginkgo tree, for example, not wanted. But the plum tree is, and the pear tree is, another pear tree, another pear tree, a pecan tree, a ginkgo. So the ginkgos must go. All those, falling petals in the autumn and spring are no good for the frame rate. They absolutely tear it up. So let's designate trees. And we'll get rid of the ginkgo, and can I have... oh, it doesn't tell me what they are. That's not good. Okay, so it's going to have to be a case of clicking one by one and then turning to delete the trees. Delete? Chop down. Delete's the wrong word. Okay, DT. That's good. Another ginkgo. DT. Good. Oh, that didn't work though. DT. There we go, that's got the ginkgo designated. Pecan, pecan. We've got a lot of nuts. Nice nuts too. Willow. Oh, I'm not sure we need a willow. Willow is... Willow! If you'll forgive me. Sorry. Just had to do that. There we go. Let's thin this out. Hopefully we'll get less pathing issues if we thin the trees out a little. Although this is going to take an age. And they're all going to grow back really quickly as well, aren't they? Another ginkgo. Designate trees. Maybe I should come down closer to the dwarves and then start from this end. Because then they'll get chopped down quicker and I'll see more progress. Plum tree, ginkgo tree. Of course, do pipe up in the chat if you feel this is a tedious endeavour and not worthy of my attention. But suddenly I feel compelled to do it. Sand pear, we'll stick with those. They don't sound very delicious, but they're pears. Ginkgo. Maybe I could make a hybrid tree and have ginkgo plums. Which is a nice phrase to say. I like the sound, I like the feel of the word in my mouth. Ginkgo plums. It works, but... sadly, I don't think they're a thing. Sorry about hitting escape a load there. I'm strobing it. Okay, designate. What's we got? Ooh, more ginkgos. We're certainly taking a lot of the ginkgos out. I don't need Japanese blossom falling everywhere. It's just not conductive, or conducive rather, to busy, active dwarven lifestyles that are also productive. Almond trees, pear trees. We got any partridges to go in those pear trees? We're getting closer to Christmas. Pecans, pears. Good lord! Ah, ginkgo. Bye bye ginkgo, ginkgo. Bye bye. Okay, so that load down. Dead cranberry vines. Oh, I didn't click on the tree, that's okay. Didn't know cranberries grew on vines? It does seem like the kind of thing that Dwarf Fortress might end up having. Like actual... Because you can breed animals, they have a form of like genetic inheritance. I'm pretty sure that's the case, so I don't see why he wouldn't consider plants. I mean, he may have dismissed it already. I don't know, but I occasionally keep up with the Dwarf Fortress blog. I go on a binge every now and again, but I must admit I don't read every update. Although I do listen to every update of their podcast, and I do so wish there'd be another one. Yes, I thought the Warwick Davis impression, after I'd done it, I thought I regretted it. I thought, it's not fair. Why would I do that? But then I realised that is actually how he talks, so I couldn't really get the reference to the film across by going, Willow! No one would get it. And I couldn't think of any other lines. There you go, just a little glimpse inside my head there for you, just in case you were interested. I know many of you would not be, but that's okay. Just look away, close your eyes on those bits where I start talking like that. Oh well, your ears rather. Not that you can close your ears, not a conscious possibility to block out your hearing. Or is it? I suppose you put your fingers in your ears and hum. That would work a bit. I mean, I can't hear any of you now. All I have to do is look away from the chat, and I've got no idea what's going on. I put my reminder out again. If you are trying to get my attention in chat and you're addressing me directly, it might be worth putting my name in it, so it's highlighted red on the screen and I actually look over, because otherwise you run the risk of me becoming absorbed in some tedious activity, say designating ginkgo trees to be chopped down, and completely missing what you said. Just a little handy hint there, a little trick and a tip from the Scoundrel stream. Although a trick and a tip does sound a little bit wrong, doesn't it? Sounds like some kind of nefarious sexual activity that probably wasn't entirely consensual. Again, one of those moments there where you can feel free to just not listen. Because I'm talking rather odd. Talking rather odd. That's not even talking good. That's not talking good either. Oh, hang on a minute. My language centres appear to need rebooting. I apologise. That was a willow. I'm going to assume all the trees next to water are willows. Designated a lot of trees here, and we're going to get a lot of wood for it. I should probably charcoal some of it, because I think we're actually... Oh, this stockpile's not full, so that's not so bad. Although immediately having designated all these trees to be chopped down, I think to myself, having all the dwarves working rather than idling is probably going to impact the frame rate. We established this last episode, but unfortunately a week ago is over my time horizon. The swirling vortex of the passage of time has occluded those events from my vision. So, or in other words, perhaps less obscure, I've forgotten. Right, okay, so having designated those trees, I now find myself at a loss. It seems like everything's going fairly swimmingly. All the smoothing down here has been finished. I could get some engraving going. But somehow it doesn't feel like it's time to engrave yet. There have been some great deeds, don't get me wrong. The dwarves have behaved in an exemplary manner and punched many creatures to death. But has there really been any true great moment that should be put on the walls of the fortress? And will my dwarves even choose to place it there? That's the other question. Or will they be much more enamoured of events more obscure to me? Okay, what's this exposed here? This looks like it's a good wall. Galena! Not a bad name for a girl. Should any among you be expecting a baby? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, this mining is taking a while. I ran the risk there of becoming hypnotised by the miners again, but... Oh, we'd already started mining down here, had we? Okay, but what have we found? It looks like mainly microline and cobaltite. What have we got here? Cobaltite. Some red spinels. What are these? Bone opals. Ooh. Opals are very spectacular gemstones. Ever since I've been on Reddit and getting Imgur posts going my way, I've been seeing a ton of opals. Just do a few engraved walls. Okay, okay. I can live with that. Before I do, let me quickly designate these gemstones for acquisition. Add them to the coffers, boys. The coffers? The coffers. Right, well, I think I'll engrave these 2 walls here by the doors. How about that? That seems like a reasonable option. Engraved stone. E. Here we go. Start there. Then we'll go across here and we'll engrave all that. And then we'll go across here and engrave all that. And we'll see what happens. Candy statues. Oh, that's what we haven't done. I haven't checked the industrial zone to see if they've started making any adamantium yet. We had them on it. We had them working on it, but have there yet been created any... Actually, adamantine doesn't come in here, does it? Platinum, gold. We've got a lot of stuff, but anyway, this is the place I want to look. Let's add a task. I would like to make some armor out of adamantine. Oh my, 'tis available. Although people are saying statues. Yeah, that's true. It's better to start. Well, I have been. I did promise I'd behave more recklessly in the current state because the frames are so low that, you know, I didn't want to open a door to the circus immediately. I'm there now. I can at any moment, but that feels more suicidal than valiant struggle. Let's go in there again. Add furniture. Can make some trap components. I could make adamantium blade traps. Adamantium spinning discs. I've never made one of those traps before. I think I'll leave it for now. Let's go up to adamantium. Where are you? Adamantium? Adamantine. Adamantium usually goes... There you go. There's a reference that only a few people are going to get. Especially because of my mauling of the song's introduction. Where's the statue? Here we go. We're going to construct an adamantine statue, but not just one. Because one is difficult to make symmetrical if you haven't pre-prepared for one. So let's make 2. 2 adamantine statues. You may think that that is too much, but I say ridicule is nothing to be scared of. I'm a terrible person. The worst shoehorning of a pun ever. Not even a very punny pun. Limp wordplay, perhaps, is the best phrase for it. Let's get some charcoal on the go. We may as well. We got adamantine, so a couple of statues to start us off will be nice, and then sieges take forever to get to you anyway now. I mean, I've really got to wait a while before they come, because first of all, goblins have to find out that I've got the money, which would require, like, word getting out, which would require traders and liaisons coming, and apparently everyone's frightened of the vampires, so... It's kind of like the city in Lost Boys. All the damn vampires keep driving away the trade. What we need are some frog brothers. Coked up teenage Marty Feldman. And a young Jack Bauer with an earring. An eternally young Jack Bauer in the film. Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be quite an achievement if I punch any clowns to death. Let's leave the clown car door shut, definitely. I mean, that is true. I did have issues stopping people from constantly going to see my vampires, but it seems to have settled now. It seems to have calmed down a bit. Is this guy in some kind of fit of melancholy or something? He's barely moved. Oh, Julianne, what have I done to you? Oh, someone's messaged me on my phone. I'm going to be a right bastard and look at it. What does it say? Ah, it's an inquiry about the beeping noise. It's my watch. It's not my watch, it's a watch that I consistently forget to stop being set to go off at 11 o'clock. But it's 10. That's what you're saying right now, isn't it? You're saying it's 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. Well, we didn't set it back when the clocks changed, so there. Yes, that's right. That's what I meant. Anyway, let's. I've stopped looking at the vampire. Let's go elsewhere. Okay. Can't wait for those adamantine statues to appear. Actually, I'm looking forward to that. We'll have to see what happens. Nobody's currently manning the forge, so apparently not going to happen yet. But the adamantine's definitely there, and we wouldn't be able to put the order in. They go red if we haven't got the material right. Wait a minute, they're done. I better check the log just in case they were cancelled. Boo! Needs 9. I haven't got any wafers. Okay, so where do I construct the wafers? I'm extracting the strands. Let's try other objects. That seems... No, not there. He's just sitting there, Julien. I don't know what's happened, but the training certainly seems to be a possibility. Somebody's going to have to tell me where I get the wafers. Is it from this forge? I could have sworn there was no adamantine there. A gold bars, sterling silver bars, bronze, billion, electrum, coke, tetrahedrite, platinum. Yeah. Ah, make adamantine wafers. Okay. They're here, so requires fuel. I've got fuel. I must not have enough adamantine strands yet. Ah, shucks. Disastrous. Wait a minute, where are the strands being stored? That's the question, because this workshop only takes from certain stockpiles, and if the they haven't made any in there yet. Let's have a look over here. What do we got? Okay, we got bug. We haven't even got any strands yet, so I don't know what I'm questioning. Let's wait. Let's wait until the strands appear. Then we can make the wafers. Then we can start making actual stuff out of adamantine. So many steps. So many steps. You should have a good hammer. There's a couple of silver hammers right here. Ready for any old Maxwell to come along and bang bang. Let's, the mayor has imposed a ban on certain exports. I think the mayor's going to get atomised. Let's check your status. I don't need to come here to actually do that, do I? I need to go to the military, don't I? Military and find your squad. There we go. And we need to go to your... Is it uniform? Or is it equip? Weapon. W. And I'm going to say you should have a... Whoa, 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 whoa. Nope. Come on. There we go. You should have a warhammer. No. That's not right. Go, get out of there. Curse these confusing menus. How do I get rid of the warhammer? Enter? There we go. Material. Shift M. Silver. And then weapon. Warhammer. Ah! Oh, right, material. Silver warhammers. There we go. You are equipped with a silver warhammer at times of war. Oh, thank you very much, Diego Killer. Such serendipitous timing cannot be ignored. The universe must have meant you to watch this. Ah, look at this guy here. Look at Dodok. He's asleep in his bed. Maybe I should take him off training to allow him to feed, because otherwise he's going to wander off and try and feed off of someone else. Take the opportunity. Ah, this poxy troglodyte. We must free the troglodyte. It has to be done from the animal screen, though, and I don't know which troglodyte is which. Curses. Z. Animals. Let's go and have a look at the troglodytes. What do we have in the troglodyte list? Nanny goat, turkey, crumble, war dog. Interesting. I can't see him. Maybe he's not an animal. Maybe he's a sentient creature. Maybe that's why the vampire's not feeding off of him. Assign an animal to chain. Nobody. There we go. That should essentially free the troglodyte. Maybe. Let's quickly look. The troglodyte is still chained, but hopefully someone will remove it. Look, you fool! Go to bed. You could have fed. You could have gorged on red dwarven blood, but no, you decided to stand there and focus on your martial prowess. Admittedly, that's going to be useful, and I'm not knocking you for your dedication, but we need you in tip-top shape. You have to kill in order to be ready to fight. We don't want another Panzerbeard incident. Too much hubris was applied. Not enough thought. Obviously not on Panzerbeard's side. That was all me. I sent him to his death. Ignorance is no excuse. Oh my goodness, the engraving's nearly finished. We've got some seriously fast engravers. Let's have a look and see what they've done. Detailed quartzite wall. Let's have a look. Engraved on the wall is a superiorly designed image of Asmel Hallcrest the Dwarf and a jet door by Minkot Ibelsbromek. Asmel Hallcrest is raising the jet door. The artwork relates to the masterful jet door created by the dwarf Asmel Hallcrest for the Abyssal Shields at Cryptbeards in the early spring of 252. I've just realised I've had my dwarves churning out legendary items for quite some time now, so I think they're going to be the dominant thing here. Engraved on the wall is a finely designed image of Spex Marina Bookinked, the Dwarf, and Lakewib the Abyssal Witch of Lies, the Forgotten Beast by Minkot Ibresmorek. That's really mauled, hasn't it? Let me start that one again so we can actually get the proper flow of the wordage. Engraved on the wall is a finely designed image of Spex Marina Bookinked, the Dwarf, and Lakesweb the Abyssal Witch of Lies, the Forgotten Beast by Minkot Ibresbromek. Lakesweb the Abyssal Witch of Lies is striking down Spex Marina Bookinked. The artwork relates to the killing of the dwarf Spex Marina Bookinked by the Forgotten Beast Lakesweb the Abyssal Witch of Lies in Cryptbeards in the early spring of 253, during the rampage of the Forgotten Beast Lakesweb the Abyssal Witch of Lies in Cryptbeards. These descriptions really love to repeat themselves, don't they? And Spex, you've been properly memorialised. An image of a thin cross by Reg Melbizolkak. That's very much the tattoo flash of wall engraving. Engraved on the wall is a finely designed image of Kib Roughhush the Dwarf and Delura the Cave Crocodile by Linkot Domazrol. Ooh, this is a sad one. Kib Roughhush is making a plaintive gesture. Delura is laughing. The artwork relates to the mortal wounding of the dwarf Kib Roughhush by the Cave Crocodile Delaria in Cryptbeards in the late winter of 252. Sometime around episode 2 or 3, I think that was. Something along those lines. Man, that was a baby. The only thing left of that baby was... it was a child, maybe not a baby. But nonetheless, the only thing left was a couple of toes. That was it. We only knew the crocodile had eaten it because of the combat logs and the fact that the crocodile was sitting there next to the toes. Engraved is a superior Minkot Ibboshmarek rendition of a superiorly designed image of the 3 tower caps. The image is the symbol of the mythical key, the dwarven civilization. Okay, I mangled that one a bit. Engraved on the wall is a well-designed image of a dwarf by Reg Melblozak. Oh, sorry, I got a little bit carried away there, and we're very badly out of tune. Engraved on the wall is a finely designed image of Asmel Holcrest the Dwarf and a jet statue by Minkot Ibrashmek. Asmel Holcrest is raising the jet statue. The artwork relates to the masterful jet statue created by the dwarf Asmel Holcrest for the Abyssal Shields at Cryptbeards in mid-autumn of 254. Rose-cut gems. Pardon me. Someone being appointed to militia commander. That was terrible. An image of oval cabochons. They like gems. This music is hypnotising me. I can't even speak. I'm listening to it and I just want to go oh and all that jazz, but I can't. I mustn't. Engraved on the wall is a superiorly designed image of Sutu Dream Seized, the Minotaur, by Minkot Iboshmrek. Sutu Dream Seized is labouring. The artwork relates to the settling of the Minotaur Sutu Dream Seized in the Mountains of Rhythm in Dwan. The Mountains of Rhythm. Sounds sexy. Oh, this is... Oh, Gillian. Engraved on the wall is a superiorly designed image of Zon Tramelwhips the Dwarf and Zillian Griptworked, the full inks of risking. Griptworked, the full inks of risking the Dwarf by Linkop. I don't even know how to say that. Ah, Zillian Griptworked, the full inks of risking the Dwarf. Nope. Still makes no sense. Let's start from the next line. Gillian Griptworked, the full inks of risking, is striking down Zon Tramelwhips. Zon Tramelwhips is making a plaintive gesture. The artwork relates to the draining of the dwarf Zon Tramelwhip's blood by the dwarf vampire Gillian Griptwork. The full inks of risking. That's a mouthful of a name. In Cryptbeards, in the midsummer of 254. Gillian, your dwarf's real true vampire name is absolute mouth buggerer. Oh, here we go. Engraved is a well-crafted Reg Mebelzak rendition of a masterfully designed image of rectangular cabochons. The image is the symbol of the Abyssal Shields, a local dwarven government. Our dwarven government, actually. 3 tower caps. A lead scepter. Oh, Mark Guards, the lead scepter, which was a legendary item created here. And this is from prehistory. It's a titan, or what is it? A mountain titan killing someone I've never heard of. Okay, well, there's only 2 more engravings to go. Let's wait a second and we'll see what they are. Engraved on the wall is a finely designed image of Asmel Holcrest the Dwarf and a mica coffin by Reg Melbelzak. Asmel Holcrest is raising the mica coffin. The artwork relates to the masterful mica coffin created by the dwarf Asmel Holcrest for the Abyssal Shields at Cryptbeards in the midsummer of 254. Nah, I'm not so keen on the legendary crafting ones. Oh, Albero Zuko, one of the viewers again. Engraved on the wall is a finely designed image of Albero Zuko Fence Twinkling, the dwarf and dwarves by Lidcott Dosmerol. The dwarves are refusing Albero Zuko Fence Twinkling. Albero Zuko Fence Twinkling is making a plaintive gesture. The artwork relates to the departure of the dwarf Albero Zuko Fence Twinkling from the position of expedition leader of the Abyssal Shields in the mid-spring of 253. A bit of a long one to do in one breath. So there we go, we've got some engraving and we've had some interesting events picked out, it has to be said. Specs Marina's death being a particular highlight. Not the death, just the memorialisation of such. Excuse me, tripping over my own tongue there. I think I need a drink. It can get quite Inception-y in the Dwarven engraving world, because they will, if they make a legendary engraving, someone will make an engraving of that. And if they make a legendary engraving, someone will make a legendary engraving of a legendary engraving of a legendary engraving. And then, because your engravers are now legendary, they continue to make a series of legendary engravings of a series of legendary engravings that goes on ad infinitum until eventually you create one that's just so big it busts the game. I'm speculating there. That's not something I've experienced personally. The recursive legendary engraving. Right, okay. So all this engraving's done. That's nice to know. I'm tempted to engrave the approach corridor as well. but I feel like smoothing is probably more of a sensible manoeuvre. Let's do that. Designate smooth stone, and we'll smooth this delightful, or to be delightful, dining hall. There we go. I'll just get you over there. Right. There we go. Kaboom! That can the stone detailers can be getting on with that. Yeah, that is kind of like a dwarven Reddit. Oh, pardon me. Apologies if anyone was waiting for me to post the announcement for this in r/Dwarf Fortress today. I didn't, and I may have missed out on some viewers because of it. But I don't want to spam that forum. I don't want people to get tired of me posting stuff. So when I post this recording on YouTube, I will post that there. But I'm not going to do an announcement every week. I think probably all the people who care know by now. Why ruffle the feathers of those who don't? Of course, those who don't may be interested in the Dark Souls 2 stream I'm doing. Look at this. This is subtle and very, very hard to spot marketing. I'm being very, very, very subtle about this whole thing. You won't notice, but you're being marketed to. I am advertising. When you discover, you may well be outraged, but you know, I can't handle that. I apologise. I can't handle that? That's not what I meant. I can't be held responsible for that, even though I am eminently responsible for this marketing. Yeah, I'm playing Dark Souls 2. Check it out on a Friday if you like. It's not bad. Of course, that's just if you want to watch it live. It's on YouTube too. Don't worry about that. It's there. You'll find it. Google is your friend. Or indeed, the links on my page. They can be used also. Enough marketing. That's it. I can't do that anymore. Squarespace! No. I've derailed myself there with a little bit of wry commentary on marketing. I say wry commentary, I mean actual marketing. I totally derailed myself. I put myself in the ad space. My mind is filled with capitalist bunk. I need to get myself back in. What am I doing with this pit? Have I actually repaired the door yet? No, that's a good thing to do now. We'll build. Oh, they still haven't got all the ore out of the pit. Oh, I don't care. I'm going to build a floodgate, which is F, I think. Maybe I should actually get it to work. Build. B. B. B's build, right? B. Oh, wait. Caps lock. There we go. B. Whoosh! A giant bat reverted to the wild state. I will not have it. I will not have it. Although it being wild is not a huge issue for me at the moment. Mind you, training it will get my guy's experience up, so let's do that. Where was I? Floodgate. X. Which will be... there we go. And we'll pop that there. And if we ever need to get something out, we can hook up the floodgate to a lever and open it. What are you people up to here? Wren man. Are you wounded? Let me have a look. Are you wounded? No. And a wren woman. Maybe they're in love. Maybe they've decided to just stay in the pit for the rest of their lives because all they need is each other. Although, sadly, they will soon discover that they actually also need food and water and air. I mean, I'm not going to be some kind of maniac and take the air out of the room. I'm not even sure that's entirely possible. Unless I give them too much water. But whatever. Let's let them carry on. These two star-crossed lovers, holding hands for eternity, hovering in the middle of a pit, terrified to go down because they saw the troll, and terrified to go up because they'll only be recaptured and cast back into their gulag. Or oubliette. I could just free them. I could do that. I could just say, be gone. Once you're in the cage, get out of here. Fly free, wren people. But it's too late now. They've probably been brutalised. They've been institutionalised by my dwarven imprisonment. Hang on, I've had that pause the whole time. Here's me sitting and babbling, musing on the nature of wren people and their unwillingness to fly the coop when imprisoned, and I've left my dwarves just sitting there unable to move, caught in digital limbo. I've got a lot of mechanisms. Maybe setting up some traps might be a good idea. Let's have a look at what metals I have available. Let's get the forges clanking, even if we haven't got adamantine yet to do. We'll make some weapons. And we're going to make those weapons out of abundant metals, which I believe include iron. Good enough for now. And we shall make... battle axes. And we shall make... Warhammers. And then I'm going to make traps with said battle hammers and maces. What? Warhammers? Battle hammers? Warhammers and axes. Battle axes, that's the word I'm looking for. Had them mixed up a bit there. You're probably correct there, Elite. I think Dwarf Fortress and Dark Souls occupy opposing ends of a spectrum. I'm not entirely sure what other games are in that spectrum or where they would stand, but definitely they appear to do the same thing from different directions, which is brutalise the player. Oh, we've got a baby lamb on the go. Maybe it's time to start breaking out the mint sauce. Let's see how many lambs we've got knocking around now. Are you eating up my frames? The hell you're not. Look at that, how many there are. Might be time to start doing some slaughter. Get rid of some of the oldies. Get some mutton on the table. Get it cooked up and sold on. We really need a trader. I've screwed up every trade we've had so far. Maybe me constantly just being crap at it made them go, ah, don't bother. He's an idiot. He can't actually do anything. Right, let's shear an animal. Repeat that. There's probably some wool by now, right? It's likely, isn't it? I do want to play Crusader Kings on stream. I've not really played much of it. I can't say it's a blind play, but every time I've tried it, there've been horrible graphical glitches that have made it not work while I'm streaming. It's really quite irritating. But, you know, you can't have everything, can you? Some games work, some games won't. And, you know, much as I would love to play it, I suspect it may not have the ardent following Dwarf Fortress has, and in a very mercenary sense, may not bring all the viewers to the yard, like perhaps a milkshake might. Great, now the troglodyte's in a cage. Nice, very metallic dwarven music. I was about to say very bagpipey or accordion-y, and then I realised, no, it's probably just a guitar. Reminds me of, this is going to be an obscure reference, but a band called Skyclad, who, a number of whose albums I owned in the 90s, among other crimes. No, it's not a crime. They're alright, they're quite good. Although I did have some musical crimes. Most of my albums in the 90s were bought on the strength of album covers, and therefore I had some that were more valuable perhaps as coasters. Oh man, I wish I had a Mega Drive when I was a kid. I had a Master System, then that was it up until we got a PC, and then that was sort of King's Quest era. And then after that, I didn't get a SNES until I was in my 20s. I was about 23, 24 when I bought a SNES second hand, and I finally completed A Link to the Past. Oh, glorious. That was amazing. Just the rush of remembering it is enough. Great game. Great console, to be honest. I don't know why I said to be honest, as if I would deny that, as if, you know, in my general life I have to hide the fact that I found the SNES to be a good console. I've not even called it a great console, I said good. That was it. Why would I hide from that? NES games, the NES had it. Well, you got to remember back when the NES was king, that was because it was the king, you know. Atari was all that, but the NES was, you know, it was a powerhouse. I was a Master System kid at the time. Like many other Master System kids, I was drawing pictures of Sonic cutting off Mario's head and whatnot. But in the hindsight of adulthood, they definitely both had their merits. Although certainly the NES was the lesser of the consoles once they both existed in that generation. Although maybe others will argue otherwise, I don't know. Maybe I'm still indoctrinated. Because Sega does what Nintendo don't. And I didn't call it Sega back then, it was always Sega, I pronounced it. Which is terrible, and I should apologise. Although any people out there pronouncing Lego as Legos, you must also apologise, because that is offensively wrong. And when I hear it on podcasts, it practically fuses my vertebrae with rage. I become an bolt upright, sniffing, breathing through the teeth maniac. Maybe not quite that extreme a response, but please don't do it. Please. Lego is the plural and the singular. No, I've heard people getting it right. I definitely heard it. I mean, I'll admit it's not common to listen to an American podcast and hear them pronounce Lego correctly. Or maybe even, it's Danish, so maybe I'm going to maul this accent here, but maybe it should be something like Legos. No, that's not a very good Dutch accent. Dutch? It's actually not a bad Dutch accent comparatively to its badness for Danish, but I don't really know how to do a Danish accent. There you go. That's me derailed right there. Minecraft, yeah. That's true. I don't know, Minecraft has its place. I do like Minecraft, and of course Minecraft was inspired, in part at least, by Dwarf Fortress. Notch was very clear about the inspirations, and how he would... I think he was originally envisaging a sort of three-dimensional Dwarf Fortress, or maybe not quite that extreme an influence, but it was in his mind when creating it. And it would be nice if this game received the same sort of commercial adoration and success as Minecraft. But I suspect this game is an altogether more long-term prospect than perhaps Minecraft was. I think Minecraft continued beyond what Notch was actually really bothered about developing, and it sort of moved on to a much bigger thing. Whereas I don't think Tarn Adams is going to stop developing Dwarf Fortress, short of being unable to. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll complete it on that 20-year grand cycle that he's mentioned. But we shall see. I mean, it doesn't need to be completed, does it? It would be quite nice if it just carried on being trundled along forever. Mind you, that does lead up to the question of Tarn Adams' death. Then we have to start thinking about who would take on the torch of Dwarf Fortress. Who would continue it? Would it be an open source project? Would it be a commercial acquisition for some large programming company? Thingy. Games publisher, that's the word. I don't think that would happen. Not outside my nightmares. Or maybe it would be passed on like a torch to some other bright spark of programming, some young flame bearer. Though I imagine they're going to have to spend a pretty extensive apprenticeship unpicking the code behind this behemoth. I mean, it's even Tarn won't be able to really go in there and go, yep, this is here, this is here, this is here. I'll expect. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm no expert coder, but from what I know of coding, this has got to be a pretty epic undertaking. I've done nothing. I've just been sitting here talking about the game instead of playing the game. What is that allowed to develop? Let's have a look down to the mining levels and see what's going on. What have we uncovered here? What are these materials? Tetrahedrite? Rutile. I'll have that, thank you very much. Sounds wonderful. Although not much else appearing here. Slate wall and some black pyrope, if that's even the right pronunciation, and a rough-hewn rock crystal cluster. We'll leave those there for now. I'm not particularly excited by them. Let's go down another level and see what we can... well, at least I know this stuff here, galena, is going to yield materia. So we'll designate that vein. Oh, and it comes in a lovely veiny vein as well. Look at that. That's what I call a vein. Not that. That was a blob. Back up to the surface. I get the feeling that much as Minecraft is an enormous powerhouse now, it will pass eventually. It will go into the ether. I mean, it's got a longevity, especially because it's not sort of going to be dated by its graphical style. I mean, that is pretty timeless, I'd say, at this point. But I think new ways of interacting with games, like the Magic Leap holography and stuff like that, are going to make the type of game that Minecraft and all games now, kind of like silent movies, or I don't know if the game format will survive as it is now once other means of consuming the content are around, if you see what I mean. I've suddenly gone off on a massive tangent here. I apologise about this. If you want me to shut up, do say, and I'll go off into something else. But as we start seeing these new, the Oculus and the VR stuff, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The Magic Leap, if what they're saying is the real deal and they're actually going to produce this and it turns out to be everything they're saying, I mean, it's going to be a massive game changer. And games, I think, that start appearing in that medium will be the new hotness, and they'll develop and they'll start off a little bit crude and get more and more sophisticated, but at a much faster pace than games have previously, because there's already that foundation to build on. And then I wonder, once we get into that position where those games are now big, will the games of today be like books, or like the novel form, or like the I suppose the album's pretty much dead for music. I was going to say the album format, but you know, will it be like books and cinema, or will it go by the wayside and the new games be unrecognisable compared to the old? Because I mean, if we look at the early days of games as it is, I mean, we've got text adventures, pretty much a vanished form. I mean, a lot of the games today bear very little resemblance on a crude surface level to the early games. I mean, I suppose people are still producing. There's been somewhat of a renaissance actually in the older game style. Now indies are around, and well, I say indies are around. I mean, everyone was an indie back in the old days. Back in the C64 days, there were loads of them. They just weren't called indies. Bedroom coders was the phrase. Why have I gone off on this epic little sideline? What prompted me to start talking about the future and very crudely the history of computer games? Maybe I just feel an urge to talk about it. I probably have to do this in another forum though, because just going backwards and forwards on the map and not even talking about what's going on in the game is an outrageous oversight, and people just won't stand for it, will they? Hang on a minute. I'm just seeing there's some interesting stuff in the chat. There's been some discussion around... I didn't know Tarn Adams had offers. Well, that's integrity for you. He's got a vision and he's sticking to it. Plus, I think it must be quite nice if you get to a position where you can live off of donations and the goodwill of others in order to achieve what you're making. I mean, that's legit. That's like proper, you know... No, I don't think anything could probably be better, to be honest. You know, he's found something he's enjoying doing. It's a project that he can develop on, and the others are so enamoured of it that they will support him. I mean, maybe an ideal position. I mean, yeah, sure, he could have billions and billions and sell out to Microsoft, but this way he's got, you know, street cred. No one's going to be yelling shill at him, or sell out. Not that you couldn't do it down the line. I mean, there's so much more that could be done with Dwarf Fortress, really. In some ways, it is a shame that... Oh, hello. We've had a draining. We've had a draining. Let's just pause the game quickly and take a look and see where that occurred. In the barracks, suboptimal. Oh shit, he hasn't killed another soldier, has he? Hey. What's it to you? Let me just check quickly in the militia screen and make sure that he wasn't one of our guys. No, he wasn't. Although he was a named chat participant dwarf. I'm going to forget what I was talking about. I've already forgotten what I was talking about, if I'm brutally honest. Let's quickly have a look and see what's it to you was up to. Ah, shit, he's gone. He won't be on this list anymore, will he? We'll never know what he did. Uh-oh. Maybe if we click on his corpse, we'll figure it out. Where is his corpse? Where is the corpse? Ah, there's the corpse, the little blue sideways one in a bed. Right. Oh, hang on. Reg Fondlebolted, the miner, unconscious. What? He's not dead? He's not even the person who was killed, was he? Reg Fondlebolted? I mean... sounds like the kind of person that somebody might attack. Oh, hang on, no, that's Reg Fondlebolted. This is merely a corpse. Or is it? There you go. What's it to you telling Locum's corpse? Let's quickly go down there and see if we can find anything out about him. Maybe he was a peasant. Maybe he was a peasant. I don't know. It's, selected. No? Description? No, just a corpse. Okay, well I'm satisfied he wasn't one of our military at least, so that's okay. And it seems like he wasn't discovered, so he's fed with blood and should be back training by now. Like nothing had happened. Oh, not quite. Dodok, the intended victim. We've got to get rid of this troglodyte. It is really quite unacceptable to have a troglodyte there. Let's see if we can free the beast. Dump. Is that going to work? If I dump the troglodyte? At the very least, I'll put the cage in the dump and the troglodyte will starve to death and therefore no longer be a problem. Yes, it's a cruel solution to the problem, but this is Dwarf Fortress and cruelty is just a fact. It's just a thing. It's an elemental force. It's an irresistible application of momentum. Which is not scientifically valid language, but nonetheless, I'll allow it. What have we got here? Malachite. I like the name. Let's get some malachite. It's probably not even a useful stone, but because I like it and I like green. Green's a good colour. Let's dig it out. Diggy 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 diggy. Diggy 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 diggy. What's up, Buck? There you go. That's another reference for the older among us. Oh, that's cool. Well, at least it's an ore. It has some value, other than just being a nice looking green stone. Oh yes, Buck Rogers. There we go. Chunky nut. Cheating by being pretty much the same age as me there. Mind you, I don't think... I think we have an older clientele here. Saying clientele makes it sound like a brothel. You don't get clientele anywhere else. Anyone who says they've got clientele is running a den of prostitution. Whatever they're disguising it as, don't listen to them. They're running the old Jack the Rippers. No, actually, that's strippers, isn't it? What's Cockney rhyming slang for prostitute? Nope, no idea. I'm sure someone in chat will know. Hello, what's this down here? We've got some kind of animal. A gander. A male goose. Okay, let's resume. It's been paused since the corpse was discovered. Oh, silly scoundrel. Well, we're doing quite well for food and whatnot. We've not had anybody starving, which is unusual for one of my fortresses. Usually we end up... I think it's the tree thing. It's the fact that there's so much fruit and stuff available now. Whereas previously I wasn't really getting the required nutrients into my dwarves. They were all ricketsy and whatnot. This ominous music has just like got me to silence now. I'm just hearing this dum dum da dum dum, expecting some kind of Darth Vader-like figure to appear. Here come the lawyers for the Disney Corporation. They're going to sue you for copyright infringement. That one didn't scan too well. Okay, this has really been an uneventful stream in terms of me actually doing stuff in stream. It's just been a spouting forth of my opinions for most of it. I apologise for that. It's a little bit outrageous of me. I promised Dwarf Fortress and delivered only spurious jibber jabber and flim flammery. Right, look, they're making those. That's something we can do. It looks like they've got plenty of weapons churning out now, and we've got mechanisms galore. So let's head up to the surface and start creating some traps. Build, capital T for traps. A weapon trap. Weapon trap. Let's place the first row of weapon traps along here. This seems like a sensible move. And then we're going to build it with cinnabar mechanisms, and I'm going to use. Oh, blimey. Some copper battle axes on this one because I've got loads of them, so we can put 10 in there. Hooray! Done selecting. Excellent. And then another weapon trap here, and this one can contain. Well, it can be made of microline mechanisms. Mechanisms? That's wrong. And we'll find some other iron pick, copper pick, iron warhammers. Let's put a couple of iron warhammers in there. We'll put some silver warhammers in there because we've got 16 of the buggers. Some bronze battle axes. Why not? Brass flute. Ah, okay. That's intriguing choice. Jack the Rippers and brass flutes. Where are we? Maybe I need to put some steel picks in. There's got to be more silver warhammers. We may not have enough for all the trapping. All the trapping? Marble mechanisms. Let's put some copper battle axes in there and then finish it off with a couple of silver warhammers. There are 3 silver warhammers. Different from a couple, but it's all good. Right, we'll wait for some more iron axes to be built before we do the other side for traps. Hopefully there'll be some delightful maimings as a result of those trap installations. Let's hope so. Jack the Ripper, Chicken Dipper, yeah, that'll work. Well, I was always told that Jack the Ripper was Cockney Rhyming slang for stripper, and if you went to a Ripper pub, they'd pass around a pint glass and people would put pound coins in, and then the kind of ladies who dance naked for pound coins would dance naked. I don't know where that came from, but I know where it came from. The deep depths of my head. But I don't know why I said it. Why it came out of my head is the question, not where it came from. Oh, we've had a masterpiece iron battle axe. That's nice. Okay, most of the stuff that I've done this session has revolved around chopping trees. Yes, we got some engravings done. Actually, let's go and designate some more engravings because they actually turned out pretty good. Is it E? It is E. It's, yeah, all the way down. All the way down. Uh-oh, we've got the floor engraved. Well, I'm going to have to make that symmetrical now. There we go. And then that one needs engraving too. Or can we not engrave it? We can't, there's a statue in the way. No! Statuary obstructions. I do have a very leaky head sometimes, it has to be said. Whether it's dribble, tears, or words, there's always something pouring out of the scoundrel's head. Okay. See, really, I need this adamantine escapade to escalate, because I'm not having... for some reason I can't make steel. Let's just quickly make sure that's not the case. Or that is the case. Steel bars. Something is missing from my creation of steel bars. Pig iron bars. Can I create pig iron bars? I cannot create pig iron bars. Why? What is the missing ingredient? Iron bars, flux stones, and refined coal. Pardon me. I'm pretty sure I have all those things. It's a good job no one's turning up to see amazing skills here. That would be quite an embarrassing misunderstanding. That's not my USP. Skills with an S or a Z escape me. Maybe the bar and block situation is getting touch and go. I see a lot of bins in there, but how full or empty are they? Of course, how full and how empty is actually the same question, isn't it? It's just a matter of perspective. Another masterpiece iron battle axe. Forged metal is cranking them out. Karuk. Maybe the smelter's only taking from specific stockpiles, but I think it's taking from all the stockpiles that might contain the ingredients. And I've got a special one, a bar block bin here just for coal, I think. Let's have a look at the settings. Yeah, just coal and pig iron go in that one. Do I have pig iron? Coke, 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 charcoal, charcoal, coke, coke. Oh, don't know what the fuck happened there, but okay. So yeah, we've got coke and coal. So that's not an issue. Maybe it's not giving to the thing. Let's see. G. No, that's not right. Select it again. Yeah, give to the smelter. It's already giving to the smelter. Could I be out of iron? Well, no, because he's churning out iron axes. It must be economic stone, but this gypsum, that's an economic stone. Maybe my dwarves don't know the riddle of steel. Maybe they need to get a Conan in to give them a lecture. Two snakes coming together over a black sun. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. My substandard Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation there for you all. For your critique and appraisal, but more just consumption. Have we got anything that can be done under the grinder and the presser? Screw press? No. Grinder. Anything under the grinding wheel? Let's have a little look-see. We can mill plants under the can. Oh, right. Yes, there we have got marble. We do have marble. Let's head back up here. What's the time? Oh, it's 10 to 11. Okay, so this stockpile really needs its settings changed. So, only calcite, chalk, dolomite, limestone and marble. Limestone, dolomite, chalk, marble. Don't want bituminous coal. We don't want lignite. We don't want gypsum. We don't want kaolinite. calcite. Oh, is that what? No, we can have calcite. We don't alabaster. Alabaster? Alabaster. Selenite, satin spar. That's it. Okay, well, so that may help. Although, will any of that stone be removed from the stockpiles? Good question, scoundrel. And is 36 idlers too many? An equally good question, scoundrel. So we're really just waiting for something to attack now. I'm kind of sitting here with my dwarves all trained up. Well, training. Xilian's got his silver hammer, which seems somehow appropriate for a vampire dwarf. I haven't really set up any proper armour. Oh, hello. Cave crocodile. No, not that one. Oh, hello. It's all punchy. Ah, good. My presser is punching the cave crocodile in the left front leg with his right hand, bruising the fat. It's a shame you can't watch the combat unfold in the logs. I should probably zoom down there. I'll bet it's down here, isn't it? Show me the cavey. Cavey crocodile. Crockety cave. Where are you? Okay, let's go back to the... Oh, that's not good. I see something is torn apart. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the left ear, and the injured part is torn apart. The presser kicks the cave crocodile in the left front leg with his left foot, bruising the muscle. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the head, tearing the muscle, bruising the skull through the giant cave spider silk hood. A tendon in the skull has been torn. The presser has been knocked unconscious. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the right upper leg, fracturing the bone through the cave spider silk cloak. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the right upper arm, and the injured part is torn apart. An artery has been opened by the attack. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the left upper leg, fracturing the bone through the cave spider silk cloak. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the right lower leg. The cave crocodile bites the presser in the mouth, bruising the left cheek skin through the cave spider silk cloak. Mouth bite, that's not one we don't see often. Sorry, that's one we don't see often. Upper body, bruising the liver, left lower leg. Anything more exciting? The cave crocodile bites the presser in the tongue, bruising the left cheek skin through the cave spider silk cloak. Okay, any more amusing attack locations? I'm not seeing it. Biting the presser in the head, a tendon in the skull, bites the presser in the lower body, and the injured... Reading this, I feel like it might be time to dispatch the... What the biggins? I skipped... It's here? What's it doing up here? That's outrageous. We don't want that. Nerixon's Marauders, I implore you, attack! But maybe we'll also send in the Stormy Wimps as well, because vampires, right? Okay. Right, and Nerixon's Marauders as well. Okay. Okay, so we've got 2 squads moving on the cave crocodile now. Let's resume and see how it works. Oost. And we also want to follow. Oh, look, he's been very badly damaged on his second right front toe. That's an advantage we want to press. He's got a name. Prince Rung. Lovely. Okay, we're following him. Maybe that toe damage has left him unable to move. That would be good. That's true, it's just the Stormy Wimp. If only there were 2. Oh, here we go, he's on the move. He's heading up to the surface. Oh my. Yeah, there we go. Let's have a look at the combat log and see how that one played out. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, Albero Zuko's been punching. Look at that. The broker punches the cave crocodile in the head with his left hand, bruising the muscle. The militia commander hacks the cave crocodile in the head with her iron battle axe, and the severed part sails off in an arc. Delightful. Hopefully it wasn't too badly bruised and it will be butcherable. That would be nice to find. Ah, they've brought the troglodyte out of the dormitories. That's good. And they're removing the corpse. That's also good. A decapitation is always a good sign. Oh, someone's picked up the head. That's good. Oh, Locum Nishrol, the presser, has been found dead. Oh, that was him. Oh, one of my fishery workers is grieving too much to gut fish. Don't think that would fly in a real-world dwarven scenario. I think your tears would be used to season the fish.
Arr, liquid. This fish tastes delicious. I can taste your sorrow.
I'm not entirely sure that's how dwarves speak. But it's how that particular hypothetical dwarf spoke in my hypothetical situation. Okay. So far, so quiet. Let's get back up to the workshops and see if we can actually produce a usable outfit for my guys. We've got the guy in here. What was he doing? He's forging iron battle axes. Well, let's leave that for now. Add a new task. In fact, let's do it through the manager. How do we do that again? Not M. Is it O? J? Is that the word? No, that's not right. Manager. Where is he? It is O. The first is O. W, workshop orders? No. R, JMQ, thank you. JMQ. Here we go. Okay, so I would like them to let's type in iron, because that's the metal of choice. Forge. Let's start with F-O-R-G-E. Iron. Forge iron. And we need 6 of each of these, so I'm going to go for a full suit of iron armour for each of my military dwarves. And we're going to hold out for the vampire to get adamantine, because why not? So, male shirt. Quantity. Let's make 6. Okay, Q, new order, forge, no, forge with an O, not an I, that would be forge, iron, breastplate, and I'll have 6 of those as well, please. Oh, it's Q, isn't it? Q, forge, iron leggings, leggings, however you pronounce it. Q, forge, iron, greaves, 6 sets of greaves, which my dwarves will make other creatures grieve while wearing. That was a laboured joke, it wasn't even a good one. Forge, iron, gauntlet, 6, hopefully pairs. Q, F-O-R-G-E, space, helm, 6, forge, iron, cap, 6, forge, sorry if this is getting tedious here, forge, iron, high boot, yeah, let's do that, 6 of those, forge, iron. Should we get some shields? Yeah, go on, we'll get shields. Everyone can have shields. The shields are on me, dwarves. Okay.
The dwarves have organized a party.
Ah, a party.
Everyone's invited.
Arr, the dwarves have organized a party.
Oh, my voice was going there. Let's try again.
Arr, the dwarves have organized a party. Party!
Oh, I need to work on my pirate party words.
They've organised a social function.
Okay, enough staring at the party fruitlessly. Let's get up to the forges and hope that they start creating the iron armour soon. I can set the uniform now, can't I? Oh, hang on. Interrupted by magma crab. Well, the last magma crab got absolutely pummeled, so... Oh. He had to withdraw. Well, no wonder you're getting magma crabs down here. What's a fishery worker doing down here? Dancing around the adamantine. Have you got some kind of suicidal wish to unlock the clown car door? I don't think that's wise. We'll just let him fumble around down there until the magma crabs snip off his testicles and leave him wondering what he was doing with his life. Oh yeah, there's going to be dancing, there's going to be singing of songs, playing of instruments. Apparently in the next update, dwarven children are going to play with toys. Finally a use for toys. This easily has to be my least productive stream ever. Although, not totally wasted. I've certainly been enjoying just sitting here waffling, spouting forth my incoherent opinions. It's highly enjoyable. But isn't incoherent ranting always enjoyable? I mean, why else would people do it? Apropos of incoherent ranting, I once heard a story about a man who took PCP, went into a restaurant with lots of families eating in it, started screaming about being too hot, and proceeded to stuff all of the ice cubes from the ice cube machine up his bum, which led to his arrest pretty swiftly, I'll have to say. But yeah, he was screaming his little heart out, he was. I think it was a YouTube video, there was a clip of it. Quite disheartening when you see it, you know, like, oh, is this humanity? Oh, great. But also, on a sort of very base level, a bit entertaining. Certainly, if I'd been eating in the restaurant at the time, I would be wondering, how many ice cubes can you actually get up there? I mean, at a certain point, you're going to probably have a pretty bunged up anus, and it's going to be sore, surely. I mean, cold, you know, you hold a load of ice cubes in your hand for a while, that starts to hurt. Surely it can't be less painful on if your rectal walls suddenly hit, like, you know, 2-3 degrees Celsius. And again, I seem to have strayed from the topic of Dwarf Fortress and onto the topic of crazy people stuffing frozen water up their bottoms. Let's avoid that one. Although Panzerbeard appears to know something about the behaviour of ice cubes once inserted into the human bottom, so we'll all have to bow down to his assertions that they melt pretty fast. I don't know, because ice cubes don't melt that fast, because it's only going to be a little bit warmer than if you have it in your mouth, if it is at all warmer, and an ice cube lasts a fair old while in there. Oh, and as it melted, it might get sharp edges on it. Oh, you could do yourself a mischief. You can take that with the health and safety announcement. If you were considering testing out this particular brand of insanity, I advise you don't. Unless you've got one of those giant whiskey ball things of ice, in which case I just need to know if that will fit up someone's bottom. So have a go and let me know. That could be interesting. Science, that's what we'll call it, science. We'll find out if one of those giant ice balls that they put in whiskey will fit up a human's bottom. Preferably only adults try this one. I think we could end up with some pretty horrific outcomes if anyone, shall we say, of a smaller size attempts it. And again, I fail to go anywhere but the weird dark place. Why have I done that? It was such a nice stream. It was all talk about computer games, totally relevant, on topic for Twitch, and then I had to go and start talking about people stuffing ice cubes up their bums. Well, as a biologist, I suppose you would be in the science most poised to answer the question, Elate. That's no doubt there. Although maybe a physicist would have more knowledge on heat exchange. I don't know. But I would suspect if I had a bottom-based question, a rectal conundrum, an anal query, I would certainly go to a biologist before I went to a physicist. And I'd go with a doctor first, to be honest. I think a biologist got very general knowledge of biology. I'd imagine a doctor, certainly a proctologist, would have a much more intimate understanding of the human excretory system, or at least the very last stage thereof. Imagine dumping all them out into the toilet. You'd hear the ice cubes going plop, plop, rattle, rattle. I'm amazed the viewer count hasn't just started going down. I've been on this little kick for about 5 minutes, and the viewer count has remained steady, which is a testament to your either laziness and inability to be bothered to change, or your ability to absorb the odder side of things that are said on Twitch. Definitely, I think we can put that in the odd box, right? That wasn't a normal thing to say. That wasn't something I can ring my mum up and go, "I had this brilliant stream last night, Mum." I mean, for a start, she'd say, "What's a stream?" And then after that, I would then have to explain to her how I told everybody about the man who stuck ice cubes up his bum. And then I'd have to explain to her about the man who stuck ice cubes up his bum. And then I'd have to explain to her why that led to me discussing the science of inserting ice into a rectum. We've gone to... Oh, someone followed there. I'm sorry. I was so deep in that... I was about to say rectum hole, but that doesn't work, oddly. So deep in that little reverie that I didn't notice. You have to pipe up in chat so I can appreciate you properly. Give you a thanks. Or lurk. Up to you. I'm not really against lurking. It's all well and good. Sea urchins. I just went back in the chat there and saw that. That's a pretty tall order. A sea urchin is a spiky beast. People are very upset by these magma crabs. Perhaps I'm being hubristic ignoring them, but I'm going to do it. I don't think you could get a sea urchin up someone's bum. The spines, you could snap all the spines off maybe and do it. But my dad used to dive, and this was back in the day, by the way, so if what I'm about to describe is ecologically horrific, they didn't know then, okay? But he's got some sea urchin shells. We had, as a child. I smashed them to bits because I was a terrible arsehole as a child. But he had these sea urchin shells, and they were like the size of 2 fists. At least they were massive, great big things. You'd never get that up anyone's bum, not without it shattering. And then, I mean, the words up your bum and shattering really don't go well together. Well, except in some kind of horrific gore porn context. Maybe it would be in the next Hostel movie, I don't know. Have I just done the frame rate in again by doing this digging? Probably shouldn't have done it, but oh well. Too late now. I see what you're saying there, Elate, but I mean, if they start pretty small and live up to 30 years, I mean, in sort of like strict living in the wild Stone Age terms, that's roughly how long humans live. So they have comparable lifespans to us. Therefore, potentially, I'm stretching that a bit there, but I'm going somewhere. I'm not going anywhere except down. You know, a small urchin would necessarily be a child urchin, and that's pedobestiality. And I mean, I imagine paedophilia, terrible; bestiality, very not good. But pedobestiality, arguably worse than either of the component parts of that portmanteau. Well, arguably, I think, I don't know. Probably not one question that you want to consider too deeply outside of an actual like academic law discussion. Could be misinterpreted, but yeah, definitely that's definitely a bad thing, pedobestiality, and I'm pretty sure putting baby sea urchins up your bum would count. Maybe if you weren't doing it for enjoyment, maybe if you were doing it just for the pure knowledge of science, blue skies thinking as such. Maybe you could get, you know, some scientific accreditation for that? Who knows? Get what's his name? Isn't the universe great? If we could convince him to stick sea urchins up his bum, no one would complain then. No. Not old what's his face. What is his name? I should know his name. Brian Cox, that's it. If Brian Cox started shoving sea urchins up his bum, no one would care if they were children or not. They'd be like, oh, science. Science is brilliant. Tell me about the stars, Brian. And what's that up your bum? Sea urchins? Doesn't bother me, mate. You're Brian Cox. Speaking of Cox, would you like me to, that's how it goes. That's 99% of his conversations, or at least those that he has with sea urchins up his bum, go like that. I wonder if Brian Cox has ever put an ice cube up his bum. Probably not, but he was a musician at one stage, and maybe he led a rock and roll lifestyle at the time. Who knows? Although, are ice cubes really the rock and roll thing? I think you get baby sea urchins at the bottom of kelp forests. Actually, aren't they a pest? If I remember correctly, sea urchins are a pest. So maybe you could try and argue that stuffing sea urchins up your bum was some kind of pest control operation. It's like, well, I've got to kill them, but sea urchin bullets are expensive, or sea urchin spears, they get blunted. I can't use those. So I suffocate them in my anus on site and then just poop them back out, so the nutrients go back into the wild and everyone's happy. Except for me, with sea urchin spines perforating my bowels, but, that's all good. That was a weird first-person statement to make, wasn't it? I really shouldn't have gone down that route in quite the same way I did. Maybe I should have explored that from a slightly more removed perspective. I'm probably going to get... No, I'm not going to get libelled. I'm not going to get a libel case off of Brian Cox, because I didn't say he stuffed ice cubes and sea urchins up his bum. I said if he had done it. It's speculation. That's not libel. Actually, no. Actually, Chunky Nut knows the definition. There's libel and there's slander, and I think the difference is one is spoken and the other is printed. I do realise this is on the internet, but well, it's done now, isn't it? It's too late. Said it. And although slightly odd as statements go, I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever said online. Oh god, it's definitely not the worst thing I've said online, because I just thought of that and it made my spine shiver. It has actually turned into a valuable educational moment where people are learning about the artificial insemination of sea urchins. So, maybe I could treat it as some kind of awareness-raising comedy. Yeah, let's use that word, comedy. A bit of a brazen, bold statement for me to make, but yeah. We'll hide under that mantle. Okay, we really have gone on quite a severe digression this stream. I mean, I was commenting on it earlier, it wasn't unnoticed already, but as I've said before, I've not done much, and I have said a lot. Possibly regrettable things, but, it's, no regrets. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping, actually, now this is terrible, but in, say, like, maybe 200 years, I've just died. It's all sci-fi, of course. Everything's going to change in the next few years. What was that noise? I've just died, and my grieving children are watching these videos, remembering Dad, saying goodbye, and then they get to the one where he starts talking about people stuffing ice cubes up their bum, and everyone sits there going, oh, actually, it's pretty good that he's dead. And that will cheer them up. They'll all be chuffed to bits. They'll be like, oh, thank fuck this crazy guy's gone. And they'll be not so bothered by my death, which would be nice. I wouldn't want them grieving. Well, too long. A little bit of grieving's nice. At least acknowledge my death. But yeah, you two, if you're watching, like long after I've gone, you better have at least noticed. Check. Ring the nursing home. Am I still there? Please. For my sake. There we go. There's my message to the future. Make sure I'm dead. Well, Well, actually, probably more accurately, make sure I'm not dead. That would be nicer. But let's face it, if it's that far in the future, we're all going to be dead. Some bored historian's going to be watching this going, what on earth is this about? This makes no sense to me. I don't even know what this thing he's looking at is. Is it some kind of symbolic representation? Are those dwarves? What's going on? We don't even speak the same language anymore. Yeah, because I'll be speaking all oldie-worldy Shakespearean stuff to them. It won't be like modern-day lingo that they're expecting. I won't be up with the. I won't be down with the Zarknads. I won't be able to go and get my power converters from the Tahi station. Sorry, I'm babbling now. I think the babble is probably coming from the intense pressure I'm experiencing in my bladder at the moment. It's currently about 300 psi of pressure waiting to be released when I go. So there's a good chance I'll be knocked backwards across the room. Hopefully I won't be knocked unconscious on the step into the bathroom. It's true. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible someone digs like they've gone into like some kind of massive server room in the far future where this is like some buried archive, and they've pulled out some of the magnetic media and gone, oh, there are ones and zeros on here. They could possibly be decoded, and they've engaged on some kind of massive human genome project level sequencing escapade trying to decode the forgotten images and messages hidden on these hard drives. And then the first thing they decode and discover is me talking about someone sticking ice and sea urchins up their bottom. That would be beautiful. Hello, historians of the future, if that is the case. Don't please for a second assume that I am an example of the current state of humanity. This is a somewhat ludicrous escapade. I mean, don't take anything you read here seriously. This is not for historical record. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. I mean, if you start basing your thesis on what life was like in 2015, that's the year it is now, by the way, in case the metadata's gone from the files. I mean, if you're writing your thesis on what life was like in 2015, this is a very small window to be looking at it on. I suggest you go and find some other videos more about general day-to-day life, rather than just some chump sitting talking just insane nonsense while he plays a computer game. Do you still have computer games? You can't answer. Why am I asking you questions? I really should just take this opportunity to give you a didactic experience. But to be honest, that's not why I'm here. I can't pander to the future generations of humanity that come long after I'm gone. I don't even know what you look like. You could have, like, gills for all I know. You may have evolved beyond humanity. You could be machines. Not that that's a problem. All hail there, robot overlords. But, you know, it's impossible for me to anticipate your needs. Maybe this could be the Rosetta Stone. Maybe this could be what you use to detangle all of your misunderstandings about language. Oh, we've starved a yak calf to death.
No more fishing.
Ah, well. Majoring. There is potential. There is a very slim chance that I may be the only... Oh, Skywolf, you beautiful physicist. You calculated the actual pressure of my urinary tract. But for all you know, I could have a very small urethra concentrating into an almost single atom-wide beam of urine, which would mean that the pressure was placed on a far smaller point. Would that affect it? Would a minuscule pinprick urethra project a stronger jet and therefore make me more likely to fall over? I don't know. I'm just asking questions here. I mean, that's what science is about, right? But yes, someone could be majoring. I mean, this could be the only record of the era left. I mean, it would be a tragic shame if that was the case. If I am the what's his name? What's the name of that monk who's pretty much the only historian available throughout the Dark Ages? Bartleby or something? I mean, there's a very famous series of manuscripts, and nearly everything that historians like pre-1900s knew. I want a large urethra for pressure. Okay, so if I were to sort of like ram it out with a Coke can, say, oh, that sounds painful, but ram it out with a Coke can to make it huge, I would then need more pressure anyway, of course. Okay. Well, you know. Maybe if I apply pressure thusly with my fingertips on my bladder, I'm not going to do it right now for reals because I will piss myself, but if I were to do that, I'm certain I could gather a few more, maybe a few more PSI, who knows. Mind you, Wouldn't want to get to such a pressure that the bladder just bursts of its own accord. I would like the... hopefully the valve would blow first. Elite, the biologist, can you confirm that the valve on my urethra would blow before my bladder split open? What has happened this evening? This is like that time I started talking about fox sex on the Dark Souls stream. It's all gone very wrong. Oh. That's very true though, Chunky Nut. If you want a small urethra for cutting power, that's certainly going to be important. Oh my goodness. Definitely not going to be being too noisy about advertising this particular episode of Cryptbeards on YouTube. I think I'll just let this one slip out the gate nice and quiet. Let the initiated find it and go, ooh, blimey, he was having a meltdown that night. And of course future historians, because we have established the fact now that, you know, although I was only musing earlier, I'm now convinced that this will be the only record of humanity, or the current state of humanity in 1,000 years' time. Mind you, 1,000 years isn't anywhere near enough time for any proper evolution. You might have some, you know, minor mutation and stuff, but certainly no species, you know, shattering changes. Although maybe not, maybe not. Selective pressure is a weird thing, and you can never really account for an unusual combination of circumstances. Then again, we may have started genetic engineering ourselves with all that CRISPR business. That'd be fun. Glow in the dark eyes, anybody? I think that might happen at some point. You better get that jellyfish DNA injected in your eyeballs so they glow. Maybe not jellyfish DNA. I'm sure there are better glowing creatures. Maybe one of those guys who, or gals, who sits under a tree and and fasts for ages, but only drinks water and meditates for days on end. Maybe they could withstand the pain. They'd be able to just go, and then suddenly, bang! There'd be a muffled, wet explosion noise, and they'd just keel over sideways. My understanding of CRISPR is very rudimentary, Elite, but I mean, from what I've heard, it's very exciting. It's sci-fi shit, basically. It was stuff I was reading in sci-fi novels in the 90s, which is good. I like it. Not enough mad science going on, in my opinion. People have got all too sane in their scientific endeavours. We need a few more wild-eyed, crazy-haired, goggle-wearing nutcases in the lab. Maybe we should keep them out of physics, because there seems to be an awful lot of energy based in physics, and maybe we'll keep the nutcases in biology and chemistry. You know, physics is the path to nuclear bombs. Mad science can back out for a few centuries, I think. Mind you, that said, genetically engineered plague, certainly nothing to be sniffed at when it comes to wiping out humanity. But it does it more efficiently and predictably, as I understand it. You can actually, and a lot cheaper. That was the big thing. But of course, my knowledge of genetic engineering and the manipulation of genes is limited. Now, if we've got someone who's informed and aware of the uses and creation of recurrent neural networks and other such machine learning techniques, we have the makings of a really interesting chat this evening. I have to say, we've had science, we've had ice cubes in people's bums, not literally, obviously, for anyone who's just joined us. That's not an actual thing that I did, but we've had all sorts of crazy talk. Very exciting stuff. No, because if you keep the crazy people in the social sciences, one of them will have a breakout moment and you'll get another fucking crazy, I don't know, Third Reich, Soviet Union, you name it. In fact, maybe mad science should just remain general and dilute. A one or two around the place, you know, just to keep appearances up. Maybe my attraction to mad science was ill-founded, although it is, of course, my favourite form of science. Why did you do that? That should be the response. When someone says, why did you do that? You should always respond with, I don't know. I'm very interested, just to go off on another completely irrelevant tangent, and, you know, I am now foregoing any pretense that this at the moment is a Dwarf Fortress stream. This is picture of Dwarf Fortress going by and me pootling around in my Dwarf Fortress game while just discussing whatever random nonsense comes to mind. And in announcing that, I've forgotten what I was going to talk about. What was it? Neural networks? Oh, bioluminescence. That's something that's always very interesting. I do love the deep sea stuff that you find on the internet. All the glowing creatures and that kind of stuff. I can't wait till people can start engineering that into their own bodies. I mean, I'm not going to be in front of the queue. I'm certainly not going to be... I mean, maybe if I get to like 100 and in really bad health, I'll be like, now's the time. Start me glowing. Fill me up with the bioluminescence juice. You know, and that'll be all cool. But, you know, while I'm in good health, I don't think I'll be first in the queue. Oh, hello, we've got a giant worm. Oh, I hope that bad boy gets captured, because the mayor's terrified. Oh, wait, no, is the mayor dead already? We've got another mayor. Well, fingers crossed it makes its way into one of my cage traps. Oh, it's 11:30. It looks like the babble's about to come to an end. I'm going to have to stop recording for YouTube. Faux show. Excuse me, what an uncouth outburst. Oh, that we already knew the yak bull had been found starved to death. Anyway, yeah, I've let this limp on long enough with my rantings and ravings. Thank you very much for watching, YouTube. And I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and then we'll have a little bye-bye session with the live viewers, where I beg them not to repeat anything they've heard me say tonight. I don't care. Tweet it if you will. I don't mind. I mean, just... No, I don't mind. Just tweet it, whatever. Anyway, like and subscribe, all that shit. If you enjoyed it, say hi. Bye, YouTube. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. Where's the stop recording button? There it is. Bye.